Good evening. Welcome to CA Final Revision Lecture RPL Day 5. I'm Avinash Kulur. So, it was the fifth day. So, we've come to the fifth day of this particular revision lecture. And slowly everybody is coming. Yeah. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. So, I hope everyone is really working hard, giving your best, yes, for your preparation for the exam. And you're all having a better picture right now. The RPL that is going on from almost 10 to 12 days, I think everybody would be now a little more better focused. The classes that you have attended of all the lectures from your IDT, DT, your law, SCM, FR, I think everything has been very beneficial to you. You have SFM coming up. SFM classes are coming up. Tarun Jagdish sir, I don't know how many of you are aware about Tarun Jagdish sir. He's an extremely wonderful faculty. You're going to have a wonderful session of SFM. Tarun sir's class has always been widely accepted by the students in South India. He teaches in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, he teaches in Bangalore. So I think that is also one of the highlights of the Revision Premier League. So I hope everybody has access to the Telegram channel where you will find all the details regarding the classes. Please access the Telegram channel of Revision Premier League. You will get more updates about it, which will be helpful for you even in the coming classes. Right now, we are also having classes in the morning. As you know, Prasanna Kumar sir, Power Notes. Prasanna Kumar sir is handling SCM in the morning. At 11 o'clock, Chinmay Hegde sir is handling FR. Now, evening, I handle audits. That's how it's going on right now. So, just have a look. I think so. Basically, you will have to just have an access to those lectures. It's all still there in the YouTube channel. Even the lectures that has happened of IDT, law, and DT, it's still available in the YouTube channel. You can view it whenever you want. All those things can be done. Okay. Then is there any, somebody is asking me, is there any link between disqualification and professional ethics? Yes, there could be. There are some sections in the Companies Act, also in disqualifications, which could be linked to professional ethics. Yes, surely. Now, many people have requested me to have revision lectures of miscellaneous topics, revision lectures of many other topics. Now, 5 days is what I had planned for RPL. Basically, 5 days was my plan. Today being the last day of the RPL, as far as my schedule was concerned. But because students have requested me, I will also plan something. But no, I'll disclose the details later because I need to look at and work on my schedule. But surely I'll come up with revision lectures for other topics, other areas. Um, the details regarding where the classes will be, um, all those things will be given to you if you have access to the Telegram channel. You will, the details will be provided there. So we will try to have coverage of most of the topics. So, but surely the details will be provided. This particular revision lecture is 5 days that we planned, which is today is the last date. 1 or 2 days also I'm planning in the RPL itself, which day I will tell you which day. Okay, next week we'll see 1 or 2 days. We'll try to squeeze, so that I'll let you know. Then you can also join. So, anyways, it's YouTube, it's live. So once you have the details regarding the link in the Telegram channel, you will know when the class is. So accordingly, you will be able to attend the lecture. Okay. So please give me some time regarding to just to plan for the other topics the day, because you understand, no, because we are all completely packed and we have already rescheduled, we have scheduled lot of our classes. So right now my CA final regular batch is going on. I have intermediate batches to complete online, lot of batches too going on right now. So I need to just think about scheduling more classes for you based on the response that students have given us. So I would anyways update you with those details in the coming days. Okay, so thank you so much for the wonderful response that I've got for this particular um, sessions that I've taken these days. I thoroughly enjoyed my sessions. I've thoroughly had a very good time. I hope the same will continue today. Yes, so then not wasting much of the time, let's start. Yesterday we were doing section 139, appointment of auditors. We did appointment of auditors. We did appointment of auditors of other than government company. Yes. And we also did the appointment of first auditor as well as the subsequent auditor. The first auditor as well as the subsequent auditor. Correct? Now, in that we were discussing about reappointment of retiring auditors, and I told you how it is different from the appointment, how it is different from the rotation concept. Because I told you, can retiring auditors be reappointed? When I asked, please don't focus on rotation because focus is on the appointment of the auditor. Okay, fine. Now just moving ahead with the provisions with respect to appointment of auditors. Now in case of a government company, how is the appointment done of the first auditor? The first auditor, you can see, it is appointed by the C&AG. The first auditor shall be appointed by the C&AG within a period of 60 days from the date of registration of the company. So it is clearly given the appointment is done by the C&AG. Yes, it is clearly given. Appointment is done by C&AG within a period of 60 days. Within a period of 60 days from the date of registration. Yes. In case of failure, then the board of directors can appoint the first auditor in within how many days? Within 30 days. So once the government company registers, the C&AG will have to appoint the first auditor within a period of 60 days from the date of registration of the company. In case the C&AG fails to appoint, the board of directors shall appoint within 30 days. Now, in case the board of directors also fail to appoint, then they will inform the members who shall in an extraordinary general meeting within 60 days appoint the first auditor. So all 3 points are given here, correct? The first appointment happens, the C&AG can appoint within a period of 60 days from the date of registration of the company. Then if C&AG fails to appoint, the board of directors can appoint within a period of 30 days. That is after the information you receive from the C&AG. And if board of directors fails to appoint, they shall inform the members who shall within next 60 days in an extraordinary general meeting appoint the first auditor. Okay. Now, then what you have to understand is the appointment of the, then what is the term of this auditor? This auditor will hold office till the conclusion of the first AGM. Okay, this auditor will hold office till the conclusion of the first AGM. Till the conclusion of the first AGM. Okay, till the conclusion of the first AGM. He will hold office till the conclusion of the first AGM. Okay, conclusion of the first AGM. What was it regarding the first auditor of other than government company? The first auditor of other than government company also, he held office till the conclusion. Even in case of first auditor of other than government company, he held office till the conclusion of the first AGM. So both in case of other than government company and government company, the first auditor shall hold office till the conclusion of the first AGM. Till the conclusion of the first AGM. Now, then the appointment of subsequent auditor of government company. The appointment of subsequent auditor of government company. The subsequent auditor shall be appointed by the C&AG, within a period of 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. Within a period of 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. So be very careful here. It is 180 days from the commencement of the year, that is the financial year. So basically the appointment of subsequent auditor, in case of a government company, shall be within a period of 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. Shall be within 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. Please be very careful here. So in case of other than government company, you can see appointment is done by the members in the annual general meeting. It is not GM, it is the annual general meeting. But in case of government company, you can see the appointment is within 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. So here the difference is, every financial year C&AG will have to appoint the auditor within a period of 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. That is, in case of government company, appointment happens every year, that too within 180 days from the commencement of the financial year. Do you understand? Then he will hold office till the conclusion of the AGM. He'll hold office till the conclusion of the AGM. Okay, so this is the points with respect to appointment of the subsequent auditor of a government company. Okay, so the difference is very easily understood as far as the appointment is concerned. Please go through. It could be coming part of an MCQ question in the exam. Now my question to you is, listen carefully. Now there is a situation of casual vacancy which we have to learn. That is filling of casual vacancy. Okay, filling of casual vacancy. Filling of what? Casual vacancy. Now, why is this casual vacancy very important? Now, please be very attentive here. Now, first let me tell you, there is no definition of casual vacancy under the Companies Act 2013. Okay, they nowhere in Companies Act you will find casual vacancy to be defined. Okay, not even 139 subsection 8. See, please understand, definitions will come in section 2. Okay, so in 141 subsection 4 or 139 subsection 8 is dealing with the situation of casual vacancy. Nowhere it is defined what is a casual vacancy. Are you getting my point? Then how do we understand what is a casual vacancy? For that purpose, we should understand the concept given here. The concept in case of casual vacancy is, listen to me very carefully. The concept of casual vacancy is, it is the vacancy caused in the position of the auditor after the auditor has been validly appointed. That means it is a vacancy caused in the position of the auditor after the auditor has been validly appointed. I repeat, once the auditor is appointed, after his appointment, I repeat, once he is appointed as auditor, after his appointment, an event happens due to which he will not be able to continue in his office. Now that vacancy shall be called as casual vacancy. So I repeat, it is a vacancy caused after the auditor has been appointed. Are you getting my point? What could be the example? Sometimes imagine Mr. X is appointed as auditor of the company. Now after the appointment of Mr. X, imagine he buys shares of the company. He purchases shares of the company. Now what will happen? Because he purchases shares, he will be disqualified immediately and he has to immediately vacate his office under section 141 subsection 4, and this will be considered as casual vacancy under 139 subsection 8. Are you getting my point? So basically, because he purchased shares, same case, Mr. X is the auditor of the company. Now imagine he dies. Now he dies in a car accident. So in that case, his office becomes vacant. Now that is also a case of casual vacancy. You understand? So the vacancy is caused after the auditor has been appointed. Now listen to me carefully. Imagine that there is an auditor, Mr. X. Okay, Mr. X, an auditor. Now he is appointed as auditor of PQR Limited. He is appointed as auditor of PQR Limited. He is a chartered accountant. Mr. X, chartered accountant, appointed as auditor of PQR Limited. Now listen what happens. Now today is the 6th AGM. Today is which AGM? 6th AGM, where his term will end. So he will hold office till the conclusion of which AGM? 6th AGM. Okay. Did you understand? I need the answer. Huh? Now what happens is, in the sixth AGM, what happens is, listen to me carefully, he is not being reappointed. He is not being reappointed. He is not being reappointed. So in sixth AGM, he is not being reappointed. And point number 2, due to some reason, the company could not appoint any other person as auditor. The company could not appoint any other person as auditor. Now listen to me carefully. He, or in the sixth AGM, he is not being reappointed. Neither they could appoint some other person other than him as the auditor of the company. Now there is a situation where there is no auditor for the company because in the AGM, no auditor has been appointed. Now, is this a case of casual vacancy? Now, is this vacancy that you see in the position of the auditor a casual vacancy? Is my question. Come on. Is it a casual vacancy? Did you understand the question? Did you understand? It says Mr. X, chartered accountant, no, PQR Limited, he is the auditor. Sixth AGM, conclusion, his term ends. Okay, and I have given you two situations here. One situation I am saying he is not being reappointed. Second situation I am telling you that no other auditor, no company could not appoint any other person as the auditor also. Now, can you consider this to be casual vacancy? Can you consider this to be casual vacancy is my question. No, not casual vacancy. Everybody says no. Now, why do you say no? Because casual vacancy arises during the tenure of the auditor. This is a case of no auditor. This is a case of no auditor being appointed. This is a case of no auditor being appointed or reappointed. This is a case of no auditor being appointed or reappointed. This is a case of no auditor being appointed or reappointed by the company. In case no auditor is appointed or reappointed by the company, in that case, what the section in the Companies Act says, the existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. The existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. I repeat, the existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. Are you getting my points? So this case where no auditor is appointed or reappointed in an AGM, the existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. He shall continue to be the auditor of the company. Okay. Please understand, very good. Mahitosh Satish says existing auditor may continue, that is, it is not reappointment. That is a very important point. Existing auditor shall continue to be appointed as auditor of the company. He continue to be the auditor of the company. That means he should continue from his previous appointment. He is not being reappointed. There is no reappointment happening here. It is a continuation of the previous appointment. I repeat, there is no reappointment happening here. It is the continuation of the previous appointment. Are you getting my point? Existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. Can you please understand the importance of the word continue? Don't say reappointments. The existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. See, this is the sentence. Can you see the sentence? This is the sentence that I have given. Where at any annual general meeting, read this sentence. Where at any annual general meeting, no auditor is appointed or reappointed, the existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. The existing auditor shall continue to be the auditor of the company. That word continue is very important. There is no deemed appointment as such. Don't use the word deemed appointment, reappointment. I told you yesterday, see, our concepts will not help. Deemed appointments, reappointed automatically, forget all that. What is the section using the word continue? What is the section saying? Continue. Continue means continuing from the previous appointment. Please understand that word continue is important. Don't use any other word. Don't use any other word in the exam. Please use the word continue. Continue to be the auditor of the company. Are you getting my point? That word continue is very important. See, I've just zoom for you. Continue. The word continue is very, very, very important. Don't forget. Okay. Continue to be the auditor of the company. Okay. Can you link this provision with the auditor's term and explain? See, this provision to the auditor's term is nothing but what will happen is, in this case, there is nothing called as the term ending in the 6th AGM. Even after 6th AGM, this auditor is going to continue till the new auditor is appointed. Mostly he'll continue for a year. Do you understand? So his term will not end in the 6th AGM. His term will be extended. His term will be extended till the new auditor is appointed. If he is not wanting to continue, he may resign. In case he resigns, it will become a casual vacancy. That provision will change. 139 subsection 8 will become applicable. Do you understand? 139 subsection 8 will become applicable. So please understand, here it is continuation. The auditor's term is being continued there. Because no auditor could be appointed and he also was not reappointed. Do you understand? So now that this sentence, I am telling you, most of you will not read this sentence, but it is very, very important. Now, in case of casual vacancy, how is the appointment done? Now, in case of casual vacancy in companies other than government companies, the moment there is a casual vacancy, within a period of 30 days, the board of directors will have to fill the vacancy. So, in case of an other than government company, the moment there is a casual vacancy, the casual vacancy shall be filled by the board of directors within a period of 30 days from the date of vacancy. Okay, they'll fill within a period of 30 days from the date of vacancy. Now, my question to you, come on my students who respond to me, superb. Okay, so now listen to me carefully. Imagine there is Mr. Y, an auditor. There is an auditor called as Mr. Y, a chartered accountant. He is the auditor of PQR Limited. Okay, he is the auditor of PQR Limited. Now what happens is, he was appointed in the first AGM. His term will start from the conclusion of first AGM and it goes till the conclusion of 6th AGM. Now what happens is, after the third AGM what happens is, Mr. Y meets with an accident and he dies. Okay, he dies. Now when Mr. Y dies, the death of Mr. Y, what will happen there? This is a situation of a casual vacancy. Correct? Casual vacancy. Now what should happen? Because there is a casual vacancy, now the board of directors will have to fill the vacancy within how many days? 30 days. Within how many days? 30 days. The board of directors will have to fill the vacancy within a period of 30 days from the date of vacancy, that is 30 days, within 30 days from the date of death of Mr. Y. Now they appoint Mr. Z as the auditor, chartered accountant, Mr. Z as the auditor, who board of directors. Within 30 days they appoint Mr. Z. Now my question to you is, till when will Mr. Z continue as auditor of the company? Till when will Mr. Z, the auditor who is taking the, who has been appointed due to casual vacancy by the board of directors, till when will he continue as auditor of the company? Till when will he continue as auditor of the company? That is my question. Till when will he continue as auditor of the company? Till when will Mr. Z, I'm not talking about Mr. Y, I'm talking about Mr. Z. Mr. Z, till when will he continue as auditor of the company? Mr. Z. Okay, you are saying till the conclusion of next AGM. Now, I repeat to you, please don't just say next AGM. The word conclusion is very important. I am telling you, the word conclusion is very important. Okay, it is till the conclusion of the, now many people are saying till the conclusion of, there are some students who are saying conclusion of the 6th AGM. Some people are saying, now Richa says remaining term of Y. Then Justin Thomas is saying members have to approve within 3 months. Members have to approve within 3 months. Now listen, now I've got multiple answers. This is what I need. I wanted to get so that I tell you what is your mistake. Now listen to me carefully. Here it is a casual vacancy due to reasons other than resignation, correct? So there is no question of members approval. That is one point. And second, in case of a casual vacancy, whichever auditor is appointed in the place due to casual vacancy, he will hold office only till the conclusion of next AGM. Only till the conclusion of next AGM. It is not 6th AGM or remaining period of 5, etc. It is conclusion of next AGM. Are you getting my point? Next AGM. Okay, so basically what you have to understand is here the auditor, Mr. Z will continue only till the conclusion of next AGM, that is the 4th AGM in this example. He will not continue till the 6th AGM. He will not continue because casual vacancy term will end till the conclusion of the next AGM. Do you understand? Till the conclusion of the next AGM. He shall hold office till the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. Please be very careful, very careful. Okay, now coming to the point that someone raised about the members approval. Okay, listen to me carefully. Now, in case of other than government company, if the casual vacancy was caused due to the resignation of the previous auditor, listen to me carefully. In that case, the board of directors will still appoint the auditor within 30 days. There is no change in that provision. However, the appointment shall be approved by the members in the general meeting within 3 months from the recommendation of the board of directors. Within 3 months from the recommendation of the board of directors. I repeat, in case the casual vacancy is due to the resignation of the previous auditor, then here also the same provision of appointment of the auditor by board of directors within 30 days from the date of resignation will apply. Okay, from the date of resignation, that is casual vacancy, will still apply, but this appointment should be approved by the members within a period of 3 months from the date of recommendation by the board in a general meeting. In what meeting? General meeting. Here the word is general meeting. Then what? That means the members may approve this within 3 months either at an annual general meeting or at an extraordinary general meeting. Either annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting. Are you getting my point? So please, one of the students told this. So it is very important to understand that only in case of resignation, this members approval is required. Any reasons other than resignations, members approval is not required. Any reason other than resignation, members approval is not required. Members approval is required only in case of resignation. Are you getting my points? So please be very careful in that case. Okay. Now, in case of a auditor appointed, in case of a government company, who will appoint? Where if there is a casual vacancy for a government company, then the vacancy shall be filled by C&AG within a period of 30 days from the date of vacancy. In case of government company, the vacancy shall be filled by C&AG within a period of 30 days from the date of vacancy. In case C&AG is not appointing within 30 days, they shall inform the board of directors who shall within 30 days appoint the auditor. Do you understand? So in case of government company, the first power goes to C&AG, and if C&AG fails to appoint, then it will go to the board of directors who shall within 30 days appoint the auditor in case of a casual vacancy of government company. Here the auditor, here there is no confusion, the auditor shall hold office till the conclusion of the next AGM. Okay. Now, Gautam is asking me regarding the overriding provision of rotation. Okay, rotation. I will tell you. In case of rotation of auditor, it is a listed company. Okay. So when there what will happen is the company will have to appoint. He cannot continue there. He will have to leave his office. Now it will be a situation where there is no auditor for the company. Now company will have to the ROC will come into picture. There are a lot of things that could happen. So please understand, in that case this provision will not apply because 139 subsection 2 will override all the provisions. In case of rotation of auditor, he cannot continue because due to rotation he will have to take a break. From his office. Because 139.2 says it is overriding all the provisions under the Companies Act. If you want to know 139.2, just go through 139.2, you will understand what is the importance of rotation of auditors. You understand? So here, in case of rotation of auditors, the section is very clear. As per the laws, class of companies, they are clearly given. It is overriding all the provisions, nothing, notwithstanding anything which contains in the act, there the rotation is applicable. Here the term is given, you have to, you'll have to leave the company if your term ends. You will have to leave the company if your term ends. That 139, whatever we have discussed regarding the continuation of the auditor will not apply there. Okay, now, so casual vacancy, it's very clear, no, that is the point regarding casual vacancy. Both the cases, the auditor shall hold office till the conclusion of the next AGM. Only in case of other than government company, if the casual vacancy is due to reasons, due to resignation, then there should be an approval by the members within 3 months from the date of recommendation by the board of directors. Okay, now I have a very simple question to you. Okay, just a logical question. Huh? You tell me the answer. Now, why is that in case of government company? Why is that in case of government company? There is no separate discussion on the resignation part of the auditor. But because in case of other than government company, you saw that in case the casual vacancy is due to resignation, there was a provision of members approval within 3 months. Correct? But why in case of government company, there is nothing discussion related to the resignation of the auditor. There the provision is plain. Any reason of casual vacancy, they are saying CAG will appoint within 30 days. If not, the board of directors will appoint within 30 days. Why is that resignation is not being discussed there? The situation of resignation is not taken separately, like in case of other than government company. Tell me. Yeah. Public money not involved. Government itself is the stakeholder. Because in any case, appointment by C&AG for government company. Okay. Appointment is made by C&AG. So no need for any approval. Good. Good. Appointment power completely lies with C&AG. Management overriding of control. No original appointment by the members. Very good. That is the actual answer. Very good. Because anyways, the appointment always lies with CAG. You see, in case of government company, even when the casual vacancy arises, CAG itself appoints within 30 days. You understand? But in case of other than government company, the auditor is appointed by whom? By the members. And then he resigns. Then the power in case of casual vacancy is given to the board of directors. You understand? It is given to the board of directors. That is why they are focusing on the resignation of the auditor there. And they are saying members' approval is required in case of resignation. Did you understand? That is the logic behind it. Okay, that is the logic behind it. It is basically C&AG is involved. Okay, very good. Now one thing that you have to be very careful. Okay, which could another question which could be asked in the exam is regarding the manner and procedure for selection of auditors appointed at the AGM. The manner and procedure for selection of auditors. Because what you have to understand is, you take the case of a other than government company. Here what is happening is that the auditor is being appointed at the AGM. And you all know one point is very important. Very important is, the auditor's consent needs to be obtained before he is appointed. And you have to obtain a certificate from the auditor before he is appointed. So before the appointment happens, the company will have to obtain a written consent from that auditor. and second the proposed auditor, and obtain a certificate from the proposed auditor. So this should happen before the appointment. Appointment happens at the AGM. So before appointment itself, you have obtained a written consent and certificate from him. That means he is already selected. The auditor has been already selected. Whose name should be kept in the AGM proposed to be auditor? It is already selection process is done. The appointment happens in the AGM. Are you getting my point? The members are not selecting the auditor. They are appointing the auditor. They are passing the resolution for appointment. The selection of the auditor is already done. Now the question is, who selects? Who selects the auditor? How is the selection done? What is the manner and procedure for selection of auditors? For that purpose, you need a little bit of understanding of section 177. I'm not going deep into 177. 177 is a section introduced in Companies Act which requires you to have a constitution of what? Audit committee. Audit committee. Do you remember audit committee? This is very, very important. Audit committee. You have one chapter relating to audit committee. Audit committee, section 177. Section 177. You understand? This is one chapter also, audit committee and corporate governance. Now, audit committee is required to be constituted by certain classes of companies under section 177. Now, once we know whether 177 is applicable or not to a company, we will be able to learn this particular manner and procedure for selection of auditors appointed at AGM. Okay. Now, listen to me carefully. What are we learning right now? What are we learning right now? See, what are we learning is in the AGM, in the annual general meeting. Listen to me carefully. Imagine that Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is a chartered accountant. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is a chartered accountant. Now, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is going to be appointed as auditor in the annual general meeting. His name is to be proposed to be appointed as auditor of the company in the annual general meeting. Okay. Now, what we are learning is the flashback. We are going to learn the flashback. Flashback. What flashback? How did you select Amitabh Bachchan? Who selected Mr. Amitabh Bachchan as the to be appointed as auditor of the company? So basically, at the AGM is the climax. AGM is the climax of the movie, where the members will be there. The Amitabh Bachchan's name will be proposed to be appointed as auditor. If the members are satisfied, they will pass a resolution. Amitabh Bachchan will be appointed as auditor. What discussion we are doing right now is the flashback before the AGM. And there are some things that happened before the AGM. The flashback is what we are learning. The manner and procedure for selection of auditors appointed at the AGM. Are you getting my point? So basically, it's a flashback. Before the AGM, what happened? Who selected the auditor? Why was he selected? How was he selected? What was done to select him? All those provisions is what we are going to learn. Now, in that case, they are saying, first we have to check for whether the for that company section 177 is applicable or not. Whether for that company section 177 is applicable or not. In case for that company section 177 is not applicable, section 177 is not applicable, which means the company need not have an audit committee. Company need not have an audit committee. In that case, the auditor shall be selected. The auditor shall be selected by the board of directors. By the board of directors. Shall be selected by the board of directors. And whoever has been selected by the board of directors to be auditor of the company, the board of directors will recommend that person's name in the annual general meeting, and the members, if satisfied, will pass the resolution and appoint that person as the auditor. Are you getting my point? That is, in case section 177 is not applicable to a company, then the board of director is the person who board of directors is will select the auditor. Now, in case 177 is applicable, in case 177 is applicable, then there is a committee in the company called as audit committee. There is a committee called as audit committee. Now, the selection process will have some interference by the audit committee. You understand? Now the selection process will have a little bit of interference by the audit committee. Now listen to me carefully. Now here what will happen is, first the audit committee will make a recommendation to the board of directors. Audit committee will make a recommendation to the board of directors. So one situation that will happen initially is that audit committee will make recommendation to the board of directors. Audit committee will make recommendation to the board of directors. Okay, recommendation to the board of directors. Now imagine board of directors are satisfied. Board of directors are what? Satisfied with the recommendation of the audit committee. So whoever name has been recommended by the audit committee to the board of directors. Imagine if board of directors are satisfied. Now the process ends there. What will board of directors do? They will recommend that person's name to the members at the annual general meeting. So it is a very happy, quickly finished flashback. Now, quickly finished flashback, climax, everything over. There is no fight, nothing. You understand? It's a very, what do you say, family movie. Family movie. No fight, nothing, no drama. It's a feel-good movie. Audit committee will recommend a person's name to the board of directors. Board of directors happily accepting the recommendation. The recommendation is kept for consideration in the AGM to the members. Very happy, feel-good movie. You understand? Now, in case, now second situation number 2. Situation number 2, what happens is, imagine audit committee, again starts from there. Audit committee will recommend a name to the board of directors. Now you imagine board of directors are not satisfied. Board of directors are not satisfied with the recommendation given by the audit committee. Okay, board of directors are not satisfied with the recommendation given by audit committee. What will happen? Basically the board of directors will send back the recommendation to the audit committee, send back the recommendation to the audit committee for reconsideration. For what? Reconsideration. I repeat, for reconsideration. So board of directors will send back the recommendation to the audit committee for reconsideration if the board of directors are not satisfied with the recommendation given by the audit committee. Now what should audit committee do? Audit committee should think whether I need to reconsider or whether I will not reconsider my previous recommendation. Audit committee can either reconsider or they might not reconsider the recommendation. Now if the audit committee decides not to reconsider, then they will send the same recommendation to the board of directors saying that we will still go ahead with this person. So board of directors said they are not satisfied. Now please listen, one point which is very important here. Is when the board of directors is sending back the recommendation to the audit committee for reconsideration, the board of directors will have to mention the reasons. Very important. That is reasons. Very important. Reasons. Okay, reasons have to be mentioned by the board of directors. Why is that the board of directors are not accepting the recommendation by the audit committee? Recommendation of the audit committee. Reasons very important. Initially when I said, I did not say the reasons. Usually that is a point which sometimes we might slip off. It's very important. Reasons is very important. Refer when you refer back the recommendation. Very good, Kavita, very good. When you refer back the recommendation, reasons is very important. You understand? So give the reasons and request them to reconsider. Request them to what? Reconsider. Now, if the audit committee is not reconsidering the recommendation, the board of directors, I repeat, the board of directors, what they will do? Now, board of directors have the recommendation back which the audit committee gave, but they are not happy with the recommendation. If the board of directors have their own recommendation, they will keep that recommendation to the members. And what they will do, they will mention in the report, board's report, that there was a recommendation given by audit committee. Due to this reason, we did not consider that recommendation. So board of directors will have to tell the members that there was a recommendation given by audit committee which we did not consider, and this is our recommendation. Are you getting my point? So there is no compulsion for the board of directors to accept the recommendation by the audit committee. There is no compulsion. If they are happy, they can accept. If they are not happy, they can reject the recommendation. They can tell the members that why they rejected, and they can keep their own recommendation. Are you getting my point? But in case the board of directors do not have any recommendations on their own, they don't have a choice. They will have to recommend this name in the AGM, and the members, if satisfied, they will appoint. Do you understand? It's very important. Manner and procedure for selection of auditors appointed at AGM. Manner and procedure for selection of auditors appointed at AGM. Are you able to understand? Now this point given here, this is what is given here. Please go through this. 5.19 new syllabus textbook, 5.19 new syllabus textbook company audit. Now this is somewhere I expect this question in the exam. Manner and procedure of selection of and appointment of auditors. You see, in case of a company that is required to constitute an audit committee under section 177, the committee, and in cases where such committee is not required to be constituted, the board. So if 177 is applicable, it will be the committee. If 177 is not if not applicable, it will be the board. Okay, they will be recommending it. Okay, so and so basically what you have to understand is 177 the committee, and in case where such committee is not required to be constituted, the board shall take into consideration the qualification and experience of the individual or the firm proposed to be considered for appointment. Obviously, when you recommend some persons, you will have to consider the qualification experience of that person. All those points very simple. Okay, now audit committee. Okay, the company is required to audit committee. Now see this, subject to the provisions of sub rule 1, where a company is required to constitute the audit committee, the committee shall recommend the name. Committee shall recommend the name of an individual or a firm, as auditor to the board for consideration, and in other cases the board shall consider and recommend an individual or a firm as auditor to the members in the annual general meeting. So if 177 is applicable, the committee shall recommend the name of an individual or a firm as an auditor to the board for consideration. If 177 is not applicable, the board shall consider and recommend the person's name to the members in the AGM. Now, in case 177 is applicable, if the board agrees with the recommendation of audit committee, it shall further recommend the appointment of an individual or a firm as auditor to the members in the annual general meeting. I repeat, if the board agrees with the recommendation of the audit committee, it shall further recommend the appointment of an individual or a firm as auditor to the members in the AGM. Now, if the board disagrees with the recommendation of audit committee, it shall refer back the recommendation to the committee for reconsideration, citing reasons. This is what I said. Citing reasons. Okay, citing reasons for such disagreement. Citing reasons for such disagreement. Very, very important is the reasons. Okay, reasons. Now, if the audit committee, after considering reasons given by the board, decides not to reconsider its original recommendation, the board shall record the reasons for its disagreement with the committee and send its own recommendation for consideration for the members in the annual general meeting. And if the board agrees with the recommendation of audit committee, it shall place the matter for consideration by members in the annual general meeting. Are you getting my point? So this is very, 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 very important. That is manner and procedure for selection and appointment of auditors appointed at AGM. Now let me ask you a question. Listen to me carefully now. Listen to me carefully. There is a situation of casual vacancy. There is a situation of casual vacancy in other than government company. Other than government company. Casual vacancy in other than government company. Listen to me carefully. Section 177 applicable. Section 177 applicable. There is a committee called as audit committee. There is a committee called as what? Audit committee. Now, in case of casual vacancy, who will fill? Board of directors shall fill. Within a period of how many days? 30 days. Within a period of how many days? 30 days. My question to you is, in this case, when the casual vacancy is filled by the board of directors within 30 days, for a company in which section 177 is applicable, should board of directors take into consideration the recommendation of audit committee? Should the board of directors take into consideration the recommendation of audit committee? I repeat, casual vacancy arises, board of directors shall fill within 30 days from the date of vacancy. It's a company for which section 177 is applicable. There is an audit committee. So in this case, should the board of directors, when they are filling the casual vacancy within 30 days, should they take into consideration the recommendation of audit committee? Should they take into consideration the recommendation of audit committee? Please give me the answer. Sai Madhav, not required. No. 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 Everybody is saying no. Everybody says no, not required, not needed, not needed. Okay. So you're saying it is not required. Good. You're saying it is not required. Not required. Yes. Can you read this? Please read. Read this. What is given here? Read what is given here. What is given there? Where a company is required to constitute an audit committee under section 177. All appointments including filling of casual vacancy, of an auditor under this section shall be made after taking into account the recommendations of such committee. After taking into account the recommendations of such committee. Are you getting my points? What it's saying, where a company is required to constitute an audit committee under section 177, all appointments including filling of casual vacancy under this section shall be made after taking into consideration the recommendation of audit committee, the recommendation of such committee. Do you understand? Easy chapter, company audit. I know everything. Small points. That is why I'm here. You know, from last 5 days, what do I do? There are some minute points which you will never notice, which I will notice. And I'll tell you. Please be very, very careful. Please be very, very careful. Because it's the first sentence, nobody gives importance to this. They'll be like applicability 177. They'll say applicability 177. You'll directly go to applicability. That's it. You will never feel like reading this. You will never feel like reading this. You understand? You will never feel like reading this. You will directly go provisions relating to, I'll tell you how you will read. Provisions relating to audit committee, applicability. Oh, very good, very good, very similar. Class of companies. Oh, let me read this. That's it. You will directly go for this. You will not even have focus on this sentence given above. And this will come in MCQ. This will come in MCQ. This will come somewhere. Please be very, very careful. Please be very, very careful. Do you understand? That's very, very important. Students will never focus. I know that. Do you understand? Students will never focus. Please be understand. Every appointment, including for casual vacancy, is it feasible? Why not? Audit committee is not somewhere else. They are there only. Most of them are from the board of directors also. So it is the why don't you take the recommendation? You understand? It's very, very important after taking into consideration the recommendation of audit committee. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful. Okay, this rule 3 is given here. But one thing that you have to understand is, please listen to me. One thing you have to understand is, in case of this particular, where the appointment is at the AGM. Okay, now if the board of directors does not consider the recommendation of audit committee, listen to me carefully. Where the board of directors does not contain the consider the recommendation of audit committee, they will have to tell what is the reason behind, and they will tell the members also why they did not accept. Okay, but that casual vacancy case, you will consider the recommendation. If you don't accept the recommendation of the audit committee, you need not tell anyone why didn't you accept. All those things not required. Just that you will have to consult the audit committee before you appoint the auditor in case of casual vacancy within 30 days. Are you getting my point? Do you understand? In this particular case, the final climax happens at the AGM. In that case, you will have to mention to the members why you did not consider the audit committee's recommendation. But in case of the casual vacancy case, there before the board of directors are appointing the auditor within 30 days, they will have to consult the audit committee. Ask them, do you have any recommendation? Imagine they say, yes, we have a recommendation. Okay, good. Oh, we don't like this. That's it. Nothing further. This whole process will not happen. Why didn't you not accept? Then telling the members, nothing. That is not required. But you have to consult them. Are you getting the difference? Here, if you don't accept what the audit committee says, you are bound to give the reasons why, and you have to mention to the members also why you did not accept. Are you understanding? It's a huge point. Let me tell you, it's a huge point. It's a huge point which very few will actually focus. Very few. Sir, has this come in the exam? Yes, that is the fun part. Only that has come. That point has come. I don't know whether CA intermediate or CA final, only that point has come from this particular topic. That single point only has come for exam, the casual vacancy point, because institute knows where you will not focus. Do you understand? So this is manner and procedure for selection and appointment of auditors. Very, very important provisions relating to audit committee. Now, there is something called as removal of auditor. Yes, removal of auditor. Now, removal of auditor is actually very important. Okay, removal of auditor. Now we know who can be appointed as auditor of the company. We know how he can be appointed. Now I think it is a time to remove him. Okay, let's try to remove him. Now, removal of an auditor, you have to see section 140 is applicable. Now, here what you have to see is basically when you remove the auditor. I repeat, when you remove the auditor, are you removing him before his term expires or are you removing him after his term expires? Okay, so basically removal, removal. There are two types of removal. One is removal before expiry of term. Then you have removal after expiry of term. So there are two kinds of removal actually. One, you remove him before his term expires, and second, you remove him after his term expires. Okay, two types of removal. One, you remove him before his term expires. Second, you remove him after his term expires. No, there are two types of removal. Both are removal only. You can remove him before his term expires. You can also remove him after his term expires. Now, what is the difference between these two? When you're removing a person before his term expires, what is happening there? There, the term ends maybe, imagine on conclusion of the 6th AGM. Conclusion of which AGM? 6th AGM. And what is happening is, before the conclusion of 6th AGM, he is being removed. Before the conclusion of 6th AGM, he is being removed. That is called as removal before the term expires. Now, my question to you is, what is removal after expiry of term? What is removal after expiry of term? You tell me. What is this removal after expiry of term? What is removal after expiry of term? What is removal after expiry of term? Removal before expiry of term, I understand. What do you mean by removal after expiry of term? Here I have given you two removal, before expiry of term and after expiry of term. I want to know what is after expiry of term. Tell me. If he is not, Amal Mohammed Bashir says, if he is not reappointed, appointing someone else, special notice case. Okay. Fine, not reappointed. Now, I think many of you know the answer. That is the situation. That is where we discussed yesterday. An auditor, when his term ends, he is eligible for reappointment. Provided he is not disqualified, provided he has not expressed his unwillingness, and third, no special resolution has been passed for two situations. Now, what do you mean by removal after expiry of term? It is as simple as the term of the auditor ends. Okay, he is not disqualified. He is willing to be reappointed. He actually wants to be reappointed. But who is not reappointing him? The company is not reappointing him. I repeat, he is a person who is not disqualified. Okay, his term has ended. He is not disqualified. He wants to be reappointed. No, he has not expressed his unwillingness. He wants to be reappointed. He expects to be reappointed. But sadly, the company does not want to reappoint him. Now, that is the case where you are removing that person after his term. You are removing him after his term. Are you getting my point? This is called as removal by special notice. That means you are going to pass a resolution that he shall not be reappointed, or you are appointing some other auditor other than the retiring auditor. You are appointing some other auditor other than the retiring auditor. You understand? This is the case of after expiry of term. This is the case of what? After expiry of term. Okay, so there are two removals. Please understand. One is before expiry and second is after expiry. Which is more dangerous here? The more dangerous removal is before expiry of term. That means before the term expires itself, you are removing a person. Now, in that case, what should be done? In that case, they are saying, the application in case you're removing an auditor before expiry of term, first you will have to pass a board resolution. First you'll have to pass a board resolution, and after passing the board resolution, within a period of 30 days of the resolution, you should make an application to the central government. Okay, you should make an application to the central government. Okay, application to the central government. Then what you have to do is basically that once the application is made to the central government, you have to wait for the central government's approval. Now, once the central government approves within a period of 60 days, the company shall hold a general meeting and the special resolution shall be passed. What resolution? Special resolution shall be passed to appoint to remove the auditor. Okay, so basically what you have to understand is, I repeat, okay, if you are confused, it's very simple. To remove an auditor before his term expires, it is very simple. First, the board of directors will pass a board resolution. Now, with the copy of board resolution, you will file a notice to the central government within 30 days of passing the board resolution. Now, after you will wait for the central government approval. Now, once the central government approves, what will happen is, within 60 days, you will have to pass a special resolution by calling a general meeting. You have to pass a special resolution calling a general meeting to remove the auditor. Okay, remove the auditor. So I repeat, it's as simple as board resolution is passed. Within 30 days of the board resolution, you file an application to the central government. The central government will, you will wait for the approval. Once you get the approval, within 60 days, you call a general meeting, pass a special resolution and remove the auditor. Remove the auditor. Do you understand? Fine. Now listen to me carefully. This is removal before expiry of term. Now, before you remove the auditor, obviously he should be given what? ROBH. What is ROBH? What is ROBH? Reasonable opportunity of being heard. What is it? Reasonable opportunity of being heard. So before you are removing that auditor, you should be giving him a reasonable opportunity of being heard. Reasonable opportunity of being heard. Okay. Here general meeting means either annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting. General meeting means either annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting. Do you understand? Fine. Because general meeting, the word used means obviously it is annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting. There is no what it means here. Whenever general meeting is given, it is annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting. Okay, extraordinary general meeting. So this is what is removal before expiry of term. You need the prior approval of central government. You need the prior approval of central government. But in case of removal after the term expires, all these things are not required. All these things are not required. You can just not reappoint him. You can just not reappoint him, then he will be removed. And there is nothing case of central government approval, etc. when it is after expiry of term. Okay. Now, but be it before expiry of term or after expiry of term, reasonable opportunity of being heard should be given. Okay. Reasonable opportunity of heard should be given. Now, there is something called as removal by tribunal under section 140 subsection 5, which is very important. Removal by tribunal under section 140 subsection 5. Now, this is a case where in case the tribunal suo motu or the central government or any application made to it by any person, and the tribunal is satisfied that that there is some kind of a fraud done by the auditor and the directors, there is some collusion abetment done. In that case, tribunal have the power to direct the company to change the auditors. That is 140 subsection 5. Okay, so 140 subsection 5. Basically, it is removal by the tribunal. If the tribunal is satisfied, that the auditor needs to be removed. How does the tribunal be satisfied? Maybe the tribunal suo motu feels that there is a fraud happening, abetment, collusion between the auditor and the director, or in case of this particular, what do you say, a central government makes an application or any other person makes an application, then the tribunal may pass an order directing the company to change the auditor. That is 140 subsection 5. Now, in case the application is made by what? Central government, the order shall be passed by the tribunal within a period of 15 days. That is very important. Within a period of 15 days of the receipt of such application. That is, if the application is made by the central government, the central government will take, the tribunal will pass the order for change of auditor within 15 days from the receipt of such application. This is when the application is made by the central government, and it will request the central government to appoint the another auditor. Okay. Now, and they are saying that in the whoever has been removed under this particular subsection shall be disqualified for a period of 5 years from the date of passing the order. Shall be disqualified for a period of 5 years from the date of passing the order. Okay, this is 140 subsection 5. Please go through this also. I don't want to waste my time. Okay, now can I ask you a question? Did we learn anywhere relating to fraud where the auditor will be disqualified for 10 years? Did we learn anywhere a point relating to fraud where the auditor will be disqualified for 10 years? Auditor will be disqualified for 10 years. Did we learn anywhere relating to auditor? Auditor will be disqualified for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. Years. Qualification. It is 141, correct. 141 subsection 3, where we tell it is convicted by a court. If he is convicted by a court for an offence involving fraud, he will be disqualified for a period of how many years? 10 years. So please be very careful. In 141 subsection 3, H it is 10 years. In 140 subsection 5, it is 5 years. Okay, 140 subsection 5, it is 5 years. In both case, it is fraud. Both case, it is fraud. There it is convicted by the court. Here it is by the tribunal. There it is court, here is the tribunal. Please be careful. Please be careful. That is the catch. Okay, there it is 10 years. There also it is fraud. Convicted for fraud. Here order passed by tribunal where they believe there is a fraud. Then disqualification for 5 years. Okay, don't forget. Don't forget. Now, there is something called as powers and rights of auditors. Powers or rights of auditors. Now, do you know rights of auditors? Rights of auditors. Rights and duties of auditors. Yes, I know this point is very simple for you. Rights of auditors. I want to quickly discuss few important points which I feel will come for exam. Okay. Now, rights of auditors. First right is right to access the books of accounts. Right to access the books of accounts of a company. Now, they have the right to access the books, accounts, vouchers, whether it is kept at registered office or at any other place where the books of accounts are kept. Now, if you know section 128, it is very easy to learn this particular 143 right to access, because 128 talks about where the books of accounts of the company will be kept. The books of accounts, every company shall maintain at its registered office. Which office? Registered office. Section 128. Section 128. That is important. 128. Every company shall keep at its registered office proper books of accounts. Correct? Registered office. Company will keep the books of accounts at the registered office. Can the company shift its books of accounts from registered office to any other place? Can the company shift its books of accounts from registered office to any other place? Is it possible for company to shift the books of accounts at registered office or at from registered office to any other place? Now imagine I have a registered office in Kochi. Okay, I have a registered office in Kochi. I have a corporate office in Chennai. Okay, then I have one more office in Dubai. I have one more office in Dubai. Can I shift the books of accounts from registered office in Cochin to Chennai? Can I shift it to Chennai? Can I shift it to the corporate office in Chennai? Can I shift the books of accounts from Kochi to Chennai? Okay, Kochi to Chennai. What do you think? Second question is, can it be shifted to Dubai? Can it be shifted to Dubai? Yes, Chennai is possible. Chennai is possible. Yes, what about Dubai? What about Dubai? Can I shift it to Dubai? Okay, you have to intimate the ROC you are saying. So can I shift it to Dubai after intimating to the ROC? Can I shift the books of accounts to Dubai after intimating to the ROC? Intimate within 1 week. Dubai not possible? Yes to Chennai, no to Dubai. Not Dubai. Yes with the approval of ROC? No, not to Dubai. So please be very careful. You can shift to books of accounts to any other place in India. In any other place in India. Do you understand? In India is very important. in India. The books of accounts can be shifted to any other place in India is very clearly given. So Dubai not possible. It can only to be another place in India. But however, first you have to pass a board resolution. Within 7 days of passing the board resolution, you have to inform the ROC giving full address of such other place in India where the books of accounts are to be maintained. Okay, where the books of accounts are to be maintained. So pass a board resolution within 7 days of passing such board resolution, inform the ROC within 7 days. Within 7 days, giving full address of such other place in India where the books of accounts are to be maintained. Good. Now, the books of accounts of the company should be kept at registered office. But my question to you is, what about the books of accounts of the branches of the company? Where will it be kept? Books of accounts of the branches of the company. Imagine my registered office is in Kochi. I have a branch in Bombay, Mumbai. I have a branch in Bombay. I have a branch in Delhi. I have a branch in Guntur. Branch in Vijayawada. What will happen to the books of accounts of the branch? What will happen to the books of accounts of the branch? Should it be kept at the registered office or should it be kept at the branches? Branches? Okay. So please understand, here it is very important to understand that see, the section 128 is very clear. The books of accounts of the company must be maintained at the registered office. Must be maintained at the registered office. In case of a branch, the books of accounts of the branch may be kept at the branch itself, provided the branch will have to send summarized returns to the registered office or at any other place where the books of accounts are maintained. So the branch will have to send summarized returns to the registered office or at any other place where the books of accounts are maintained. I repeat to you. See, 128 is important to study 143 subsection 1, 143 subsection 3, rights of auditors. To know all these, no, you need concept of 128. That is why sometimes you are not able to learn rights of auditors 143.1, 143.3 easily, because you are not having good knowledge about 128. Now, in case the branch maintains the books at the branch and sending summarized returns, the summarized returns sent by the branch shall be deemed to be the books of accounts kept at the registered office. Are you getting my points? The summarized returns will be considered as the books of accounts. So it is a deemed provision where the summarized returns will be deemed as the books of accounts if the books are kept at the branch and summarized returns is sent. Do you understand? Summarized returns is sent. Okay, so you should be little careful there. You should be little careful there. Okay, now my question to you is very simple question. Very simple question. Now the books of accounts that is being kept, who can access? Now, can the shareholders, members of the company, have access to the books, vouchers, bills, books of accounts of the company? Can the shareholders, members of the company, go and access the books of accounts of the company? Can they go and access the books of accounts of the company? Books, vouchers, bills, shareholders, members of the company. Members of the company. What do you think? Members. Not at all. Is it possible? No. Why it is not possible? Because members do not have the right to access books. Okay, that is the reason by which they appoint whom? Auditors. That is why we have section 143 giving the power to the auditors to access the books. Now, did you get the link? Because 128 will give power to access the books only to the directors. Only to whom? Directors. Only to the directors of the company. Directors of the company can access the books of accounts, but only the directors can access as per 128. That is why you have separate section 143 giving rights of access to the auditor. Giving right of access to the auditor. Are you getting my point? Because most of the students feel access to the books of accounts is focused in 128. No. 128 is focusing on the company and the access to the books of accounts by the directors. The auditor's right to access to the books is not in 128, it is in 143. It is in 143. Do you understand? Don't write 120, it is 143, giving right to access to the books. Okay, right to access to the books. Now, right to access to the books. Okay, now next question. Listen. Auditor, auditor, auditor. He wants to access the minutes book. He wants to access the minutes book of board meeting. Minutes book of board meeting. Board meeting, okay? Minutes book of the board meeting. The board of directors say that he will not be provided with the minutes book of board meeting as it contains confidential information. And the directors also say auditor does not have to access the minutes book of board meeting. What do you feel? Do you think the auditor has the right to access the minutes book of board meeting? Minutes book of board meeting. Board meeting. What do you think? Auditor has the right to access. Somebody says no, only minutes of AGM. All information. Yes. Yes, we have the right. We have the right. Only minutes of AGM. Now listen to me carefully. Now this is where the catch is actually. This is where the catch is. Now the question is, I will have the access to the minutes book. Now how do we approach the answer? It's not a plain answer. Yes sir, access. Now what you have to understand is, I can access the minutes book if it comes in the definition of books, correct? No? If it comes under the definition of books, because I have the right to access books. I have the right to access books. So in that purpose, in that case, I need to know whether the books mentioned in 143, what I have seen now, right to access books, whether it contains minutes book. So you will have to learn the definition of books. Do you understand? You have to learn the definition of books, which nobody learns. Nobody learns. This comes in the exam. This is what is books. And you have to learn this. It says the phrase books, accounts, vouchers includes all books which have any bearing or likely to have any bearing on the accounts, whether these be usual financial books or statutory or statistical books, memoranda books. Now this is statutory, they have used the word statutory books. Now statutory books includes minutes book. Are you getting my point? Because I said no common sense, no sentiments, just focus on the provision. Now here they have given the explanation as to what is books. Books does not just mean books of accounts. It includes all books having any bearing or likely to have any bearing on the accounts. Now I will just link this to the definition of audit evidence. Okay, to the definition of audit evidence. Now listen carefully. Audit evidence. Now in audit evidence also the same concept is being taken, which you should understand. Linking of this to audit evidence. Now what does audit evidence say? Audit evidence. Definition of audit evidence. Definition of audit evidence. See, audit evidence includes information contained in accounting records. Okay, SA 500 says audit evidence includes information contained in accounting records, and you see this other information. What is it? Other information that authenticates the accounting records and also supports the auditor's rationale behind the true and fair presentation of financial statements. That means it does not just include information contained in accounting records. Audit evidence also includes other information. Other information which auditor may use as audit evidence includes minutes of meetings, written confirmations from trade receivables, manuals containing of internal control. That means audit evidence is not just, see, audit evidence is defined as information used by the auditor in arriving at the conclusion on which auditor's opinion is based. Audit evidence includes both information contained in accounting records underlying the financial statements and other information. Do you understand? This is audit evidence. It just not just relating to what evidence relating to accounting records only. There may be other documents, other manuals, minutes, book, etc., which might be statutory books, etc., still required by the auditor to have, to express his opinion on the financial statements. Are you able to understand? How are you able to appreciate? How did I bring these two together? It's the same. 143 says books includes all books likely to have any bearing. That is what the section says. No, that is what it said. Company audit, it was said that it is basically likely to have any bearing on the accounts. That is basically the other information which is mentioned there. Are you getting my point? SA 500 and this particular thing that goes together. So right is not limited to the books maintained in registered office. You can also have access to the Now, can the auditor of holding company, can he access the books of accounts of the subsidiary company? That's my question. Can the auditor of holding company, can he access the books of accounts of the subsidiary company? The auditor of holding company, can he access the books of accounts of the subsidiary company? Can he access the books of accounts of the subsidiary company? Auditor of holding company, can he access the books of accounts of the subsidiary company? Can the auditor of holding company have the access to the books of accounts of the subsidiary company? Yes. Yes, that point is very important. Okay, they're saying it can be accessed for the purpose of consolidation of financial statements. Can you see this case study? This case study is what I asked you now. This is the case study I asked you now. Okay, it's there in the textbook. See, one thing I'll tell you, the questions that I asked you in these 5 days, take it from me, most of the questions are previous exam questions which I asked you. These are actually exam questions. Most of the questions are ICI questions. It's not the questions I made up, because I know the questions I made up, the chances of asking that question in the exam is very less. But whatever questions institute have asked, the chance of asking it again is very high. So I tend to use most of the questions that the institute has asked before in the previous examinations, because the repetition chance is there. Institute might not like the question that I tell you. You understand? So it's more better to go through institute questions, for the purpose of consolidated financial statements. Very good. Then now you have something called as right to obtain information and explanation from the officers of the company. There's a second right to obtain information and explanation from the officers of the company. So first right is right to access books. Second right is right to obtain information and explanation from the officers of the company. But I have a small doubt. Can you see this? It says right to access books. Read this sentence. He is entitled to require from the officers of the company such information and explanation he may consider necessary for the performance of his duties as auditor. Necessary for the performance of his duties as auditor. He is entitled to require from the officers of the company such information and explanation as he may consider necessary for the performance of his duties as auditor. Now my question to you is, in the first right itself, they have given right, he is entitled to require from the officers of the company such information and explanation as he may consider necessary for the performance of his duties as auditor. When you have this point in the first point itself, then what is the second right saying? What is the second right of the auditor saying? Right to obtain information and explanation from the officers. What is the difference? Wordings are the same, no? What is the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference? It is the same. There also they are saying right to entitled to obtain information. Here also they are saying right to obtain information and explanation from the officers. Right to obtain information explanation from the officers. Both are the same. What is the difference? No idea. No idea? Then get idea. Is what the idea sim says. But I think now idea is getting merged to Vodafone. Most of the cases. Even I got a message saying that now you will be a Vodafone customer. Vodafone customer. First one is power. Bikram says not available in BOA. Regin, clue തരുവോ? Clue അതന്നെയാ ഉള്ളത്. ഞാനിപ്പോ കാണിച്ചതാണ് clue. Okay. Good. Very good. Few people have answered. See, the basic difference is when you access the books, you will have some doubts that you can ask. But there could be some information which might not be available in the books, which only the directors can give you. There it is right to access books and get your clarifications from the officers regarding the books. Here it is a wider power. It is a wider power. There it is a restricted power with respect to books. Here it is a wider power where they are saying the auditor, it is for auditor. See, it is like he may think necessary that right to such information explanation he may think necessary. In the absence of such power, the auditor would not be able to obtain details of the amount collected by directors from any other company, firm, person, as well as benefits of kind received by directors of the company which may not be known from the examination of books. There are a lot of things which may not be known from the examination of books. Do you understand? Examination of books. So here the wider power is given to the auditors. You can get information directly from the director which might not be there in the books. Not everything will be there in the books. Even certain extra which you require can be obtained from the officers. You see the difference. You know what happens if you don't know this? In the exam you will write first point right to access books. There you will write right to information also. Second point again you will write right to obtain information. You itself don't know what to explain. Because you feel this is what I wrote on the first point. Now what will I explain in the second point? Do you understand? What will I do as second point? Yeah. Now somebody is asking, is inquiry and audit evidence? Inquiry is a method to obtain audit evidence. Once you make an inquiry and get a response, you need to evaluate that response based on other evidences. Inquiry is something and information you get. You need to evaluate that response based on the other evidence that you get. Are you getting my points? Very, 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 very important. Okay, very, very important. Now, then there is something called as right to report to the members of the company on the accounts he has examined. That is, once he examines the accounts, he has the right to report to the members of the company on whichever accounts he has examined. Right to report to the members of the company on the accounts which he has examined. Now this point. Right to receive notices and to attend general meeting. Right to receive notices and to attend general meeting. Right to receive notices and to attend general meeting. Now this is also very important. What is the meaning of this? When the company is conducting a general meeting, it has to send a notice of the general meeting to all its members. Now, one copy of such notice shall also be sent to the auditors because they have the right to receive a notice of general meeting. Also, they have the right to attend the general meeting. Right to attend the general meeting. Okay. So, they have the right to receive notice of general meeting. They also have the right to attend the general meeting. Okay. Now comes the new section 146. New section 146. Listen to me carefully. New section introduced in Companies Act 2013. In section 146 they say, it says the auditor, unless otherwise exempted by the company, either attend by himself or through his authorized representative, which means it is not just the right, it is also the duty of the auditor to attend general meeting. I repeat, it is also the duty of the auditor to attend general meeting. Okay, so it is a right under 143 and under 146 it is also the duty of the auditor to attend general meeting. Now my question to you is, imagine there is a general meeting to be conducted by the company. Now if the auditor does not attend the general meeting, can the board of directors give a complaint against this auditor who is not attending the general meeting? That is my question. Board of directors, there is a general meeting that is to be conducted in the company. Now the board of directors has invited the auditor, given the notice. Okay, the company has given the notice to the auditor. Now if the auditor does not attend the general meeting, can the board of directors file a complaint against the auditor for not attending the general meeting is my question. What is the answer? Come on, come on. Come on, everybody. Yes, it is a right, not an obligation. Kashish says no, they can't file. Sairadi, no. Yes, no, yes, yes. Now listen carefully. In Companies Act 1956, Section 146 was not there. It was only 143. Section number was different, but only that section was there. So there it was only the right of the auditor to attend general meeting. Right means it is only the power, nor an obligation. But due to the introduction of section 146, it is the right as well as the duty of the auditor to attend the general meeting. That means there is an obligation to attend the general meeting, my students. You understand? Now it is the right as well as the duty of the auditor. That is the biggest difference that has come due to section 146. Do you understand? 146. It was before, it was only 143 in 1956. The same question used to come in CA final, that auditor did not attend the general meeting in which the audited financial statements were discussed. Board of directors filed a complaint against the auditor. In that case, if you take the previous answers which was asked before 2013, the answer will be that the complaint given by board of directors will become invalid, because it is only the right of the auditor but not the duty. It is his wish whether to attend or not. But the same question, if it is asked now, the answer is different. Now you should say it is the right as well as duty of the auditor under section 146 that he must attend the general meeting. It is an obligation. Do you understand the change that has come due to the introduction of 146? Okay, it is very, very important to know this 146. Now, they are saying either by himself or by appointing an authorized representative. What? Authorized representative. Now, my question to you is this authorized representative. Now, you are an article student. Now, your sir is invited for an annual general meeting. Your sir is invited for an annual general meeting. Your sir is the auditor of a company. The company invites your sir for the annual general meeting. Due to some reason, your sir is unable to go for the annual general meeting. Now, he can go by himself or his authorized representative. Can he send his article student who was part of the audit team of that particular company's audit as the authorized representative of that particular auditor? Can he send his article student as the authorized representative? Tell me. Yeah, so somebody, tomorrow your slot is showing reserve and we don't have classes in the evening on 8 and 9. So you can take if you want. Thank you so much for the information. Yeah, that is what I said. Because tomorrow I have actually another commitment. So that is why I'm not able to take. That is why I stopped. I kept till Saturday. Don't worry, Shubham. Don't worry. Surely you will get my classes. Surely I will come and take classes for you. You don't have to worry. Okay. You all have been a best crowd online that I've got. I've enjoyed. I'll come back to you. I will surely come and take classes for you. Don't worry. Okay. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. He cannot go. Fine. So that is very good. I know as an article student, you would want to go because for the annual general meeting, imagine it is a very good place and there are a lot of food and this and that being served, buffet lunch and buffet dinner. So you'll be like, sir, I will go, I will go. But the problem is the Companies Act will not allow you to go because the authorized representative should be a person who is qualified to be the auditor. Qualified to be the auditor. So he must be a chartered accountant in practice. Do you understand? So you have the right to attend, it is a right as well as the duty to attend general meeting. And it is also said that auditor shall also have the right to be heard at such meeting on business which concerns him as the auditor, on business which concerns him as the auditor, okay, on business which concerns him as auditor, concerns him as auditor. Okay, so basically you have, when you attend the general meeting, any business, that means any activity which concerns him as auditor, in that case you have the right to be heard, which means what? When you speak, they have to listen to you. But this is a very nice pointer, which means any business which does not concern the auditor, okay, any business transacted during the general meeting which does not concern the auditor, chup raho, chup raho. That means you cannot talk. Keep quiet. Mindandirikkanam. You understand? You can speak and your right to be heard is only when it is concerning the auditor. The business transacted concerns him as the auditor. Suddenly when the meeting is going on, you cannot get up and say, I think your company is not doing good. I think you should do amalgamation with another company. Such useless talks you should not do as an auditor. Chup raho. You understand? You can speak only when it concerns him as auditor. Only when it concerns him as auditor. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of unless the auditor is exempted by the company? Very good question. The simple meaning is, if the auditor is unable to attend the general meeting, he can inform the company saying that there is a small problem, I will not be able to attend, I cannot send an authorized representative. Then the company might exempt him. Company might say, okay, you need not come. It will say exempt, it will exempt you from attending. In that case, you need not go. That is called as unless otherwise exempted by the company. Unless otherwise exempted by the company. Do you understand? Okay, so basically, now this is what 146 is all about. Then it is regarding what? Right to lien. Right to lien. Right to lien. What is this right to lien? Can you tell me what is right to lien? Right to lien means what? Lien. L-I-E-N. Right to lien. It is withholding. Is it withholding? What do you say? It is retain or regain. Yeah, it is retain or regain. What is lien? Is it right to retain or regain? Regain. Articles, can he hold shares? See, all those things, if it is affecting independence, the auditor has to take a call. You understand? There is no specific ethical issue right now. Now, please understand, it is retain. It is retain. Now, my next question to you is, when you say retain, okay, this point is focusing on an auditor who has not got his fees from his client, who has not got his fees from his client. You understand? Fees from his client. So he's an unpaid auditor. He's an unpaid auditor. He has not received his fees. Now my question to you is, it is right to lien, no? Right to lien. So he's retaining. What is he retaining when his fees is not paid? What is he retaining is my question. Retain. What is he retaining? What is he retaining? When you say retaining something, what is being retained here? Client has not paid fees to the auditor. What is the auditor retaining? What is the auditor retaining? What is the auditor retaining? Come on, retain. What is being retained here by the auditor? Books of accounts. Books of accounts. Very good. Books of accounts. Books of accounts. Very, 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 very good. Books of accounts. Is it, what about audit report? What about audit report? Is it books of accounts here or audit report? Is it books of accounts or audit report? Is it books of accounts or audit report? Books of accounts or audit report. Now listen to me carefully. It is always books of accounts. It is not audit report. Why? See, audit report is the property of the auditor. Now why will you retain your property? You are retaining the property of the client. Now what is the property of the client? It is the books of accounts. So here what they are saying as retain is the books of accounts. Is the books of accounts that you are using for the purpose of audit. The books of accounts that you are using for the purpose of audit. Do you understand? Now, do you think practically it is possible? Do you think practically this retaining of books of accounts is possible? Practically it is not possible. Why practically it is not possible? Because one section 128 requires the company to maintain the books of accounts at the registered office, and if the books of accounts have to be shifted from registered office, there are a lot of complications, means board resolution, 7 days, inform ROC, a lot of things are there. And second thing, your professional ethics, ICA's professional ethics says that you need not take the step of retaining the books of accounts of the client. It is not a proper professional behavior. So basically your general behavior of a chartered accountant is being said that we need not retain the books. You know, it is not in contention with the institute's act and lot of provisions of the institute council guidelines. So basically the books of accounts which is being mentioned here, practically it is not possible. And even the Institute of Chartered Accounts of India does not actually advocate this point of right to lien. So in that case, what will happen? In that case, what will happen is the Companies Act has taken the assistance of, listen to me carefully, Act has taken the assistance of Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. They have given certain conditions which needs to be fulfilled by a chartered accountant, that is the account auditor there, if he has to use this right to lien. So please understand, it is not Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, it is Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. It is Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales, which gives you certain conditions which have been borrowed by the Companies Act 2013 to explain right to lien. I repeat, many students in the exam they write Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Please, it is not Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It is Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. This could be an MCQ question. This could be an MCQ question. It talks about 4 conditions that has to be satisfied. 4 conditions. One, they are saying, whatever documents is being retained, it should belong to the client who owes the money. It should belong to the client who owes the money. It's very, very, funny comment, funny thing that is funny points that is given here. They're saying whichever client is owing you the money, only his books you can retain. And whose books will be retained? They're trying to say you cannot retain the books of another client for the, imagine client 2 books cannot be retained for client 1 not paying the fees. Good, no? Such good points. So it should belong to the client who owes the money. Second, it should have come to the possession of the auditor through the authority of the client. It should come to the possession of the auditor through the authority of the client. Then auditor can retain the documents only if he has done the work on the documents assigned to him. So he should finish the work on the documents which is assigned to him. And last, only those documents which can be retained which is connected with the work for which fees has not been paid. That means if audit fees has not been paid, the books relating to audit can be retained. Are you getting my point? One, they are saying the book should be related to the client who owes the money. Second, they are saying it should come to your possession through authorized means. Third, they are saying you should complete your work. Fourth, only those books related to that work you can retain. Do you understand? These are the 4 points mentioned under the conditions relating to auditor using his right to lien. Conditions relating to auditor using his right to lien. Right to lien. You understand? Right to lien. Conditions relating to auditor using his right to lien. Okay, his right to lien. Now, listen carefully. Can you please answer this sentence, true or false? True or false? Quickly answer, true or false. Quickly answer, true or false. True or false. True or false. Quick. True or false. False. Nice. Some people initially they said false. Then slowly it is true. Now this is why I asked you this question, is to test your capability of reading a question. Now please be very careful. This is how questions deceive you. It says right of lien of an auditor is not unconditional. When you say not unconditional, it means it is conditional. That means the statement is true. That means the statement is true. You understand? Not unconditional means conditional. Okay, not unconditional means conditional. There are 4 conditions. That's why the statement is true. Statement is true. Do you understand? In the exam also the same thing happens. Never read question once. Read at least twice. Read at least twice. There will be one word which you might not grasp in your first reading. And what happens is when you read, there will be a prejudice in your mind which might show you it in a different manner. Do you understand? You should be very careful. Okay, such words will be there which will twist the question. So read a question twice. Read a question twice. You understand? And what they will do is, now listen to me carefully. Now this question I did not make. This question is there in the RTP for intermediate syllabus. Now whatever question is there in the RTP, the same question they will ask in the exam. The same question they will ask in the exam. But sometimes what they will do is, they will remove this word not. They will remove this word not. And they will say right of lien of an auditor is unconditional. Okay, right of lien of an auditor is unconditional. Now RTP, what they will do, RTP they have given not unconditional. Exam they will say unconditional. They will remove the word not. Now whom this question is focused on? This question is focusing on those students who actually study really well. They have gone through the RTP. Now those students have gone through the RTP, studied really well. When they see this question in the exam, even if there is no not in the question, what will happen is, because you have done that question at home in RTP, you will become overconfident, you will see a not there and you will make a mistake. It always happens. They will give you some kind of a similar question from RTP, maybe with a little bit of change, and you will be confused. You will just look at it as if it is the same question, and you might be tricked there. So please be very careful. From the RTP, questions can come. The same question can come. There could be a little bit of changes also. So those who are learning RTP, please be very careful. Read the question carefully and make sure it is the same question. You understand? In the exam this happens. It's very important. Do you understand? So that is very important as far as the examination, this particular examination is concerned. Okay, so please understand, very important to know from the RTP. When you learn, this particular thing can happen. From the RTP, when you learn, this can happen. Some people asking, sir, professional ethics does not allow, then how it is true? Please understand, the question is as per Companies Act. Companies Act is allowing you. Professional ethics does not allow. That doesn't matter. The question will be as per Companies Act. You have to answer as per Companies Act. If the question is as per professional ethics, then the answer will be different. You will refer to the clause and write. The question here is as per the Companies Act. The sentence is also as per Companies Act. So you should be answering as per the Companies Act only. Okay, please just be careful on that part also. Read always. They will say, if it is a professional ethics question, they will say answer as per the Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Companies Act, they will say as per the Companies Act 2013. So when you read the question, please be very careful. Do you understand? Now, so all those things as far as RTP is concerned, these rights of auditor, etc. are extremely important. Do you understand? Now, Now listen to me. Now, as far as these particular uh, this lectures, revision lectures that we have done are concerned, you should be now there are some things that now there are some students who have told me about miscellaneous topics, then the presentation of the paper, then how to link and learn. So there are a lot of things which needs to be discussed. As I have told you, we will see revision premier league is decided to be conducted till a particular date. Even after that date, we can meet up. Okay, so what I will do is, as today is been the fifth day and right now my schedule is ending. Okay, I have taken this slowly only because I wanted you to understand what I teach, because if I teach you quickly, whatever I teach will be of no use. So what you have understood really well. And I will come up with videos of RTP. Okay, discussion of RTP. We'll have a particular session where we'll focus only on the RTP. Okay, I'll come live. I'll put up a recorded video of the RTP discussion, which we will do. Okay, then we will have one or two sessions dealing with some other topics. One or two sessions dealing with some miscellaneous topics and some other important topics. I'll come and discuss those topics for you. Okay, then okay, then I hope everybody has access to the Telegram channel. Okay, in Telegram, if you actually go through Telegram channel, you have this. Just have if you have not accessed the Telegram channel till now, the Telegram channel is CA Final Revision Premier League. The CA Final Revision Premier League. That is the Telegram channel. CA Final Revision Premier League. Okay, that in that Telegram channel I will put the link to my Telegram channel which I have created. Okay, my Telegram channel which I have created, I will put the link there. Okay, I'll put the link there. You can access my Telegram channel also to get the details. Okay, get the details. Okay, bank, NBFC, okay, everything I'll do. Professional ethics, see, I cannot do every topic. I cannot do every topic. I understand that you really want me to teach most of the topics. I will. July exams, there is time. I can come up with revision videos. Okay, and I am very happy to tell you also that I will also launch my YouTube channel. Now, I have never thought about YouTube channels and coming up live on YouTube and creating my own channel, because I was really held up offline and I never came to the online scenario. But right now, this situation, this is one of the biggest positive of sometimes we say, there is an opportunity in every crisis. There's like an opportunity in every crisis. So same way, I'll also launch my YouTube channel, and I will put the details in the Telegram channel, in my Telegram channel as well as the RPL Telegram channel. Okay, I'll put the details about the launching of my YouTube channel also, and there also I'll be uploading videos regarding the some changes and some revision lectures and all that. Okay, so I will start the YouTube channel and I'll provide the link. Okay, so I hope that everyone will subscribe to my YouTube channel and you will all be my my students in the YouTube channel, because support of the students is extremely important, and I'll do that. Even I'll become active on Telegram. I'll become active on Telegram, give you whatever guidance possible, whatever for the students. Even this time, I still remember when the pandemic and Corona issue started. For my regular batch students, for my students who attended my classes, I had kept a 40-day CA final program where I conducted examinations every 3 days and made them write some 10 to 12 examinations. I did that for this time, and it got ended some 2 days back. The 40-day program. It was basically focusing on writing examinations. I used to put up question papers and then put up the answer keys, and students used to correct their papers by themselves. So all those things I had done, and it was a good experience. And all those question papers, whatever I have done, I will try to also I will put it up slowly, by not continuously, slowly. I'll put that up in the my Telegram channel. I'll announce when we can start that particular examination process. it is the question papers are anyways already ready with me with the answer key. So I will tell you that the timetable will be put up, and based on that timetable the question papers will be put up. You can write that question paper, then I'll put the answer key, you can correct the paper by yourself. Okay, so that is something that I will surely try to do, because writing is also very very important. I think Amal was part of that particular 40-day program, so that is what she is saying, that it was very very beneficial for her, because I still remember every 3 days we used to have the examination. Now we'll be putting a model examination, and it is only because I know students will not learn. They will feel little demotivated, they will not feel like studying, they will feel exam is so far. Somebody needs to push them, somebody needs to motivate them, somebody needs to tell them, yes, you can, it is possible. And I know a pinch, a small a kind of motivation helps everyone. Some kind of motivation helps everyone. So I will also come up with those things. As far as my Telegram channel is concerned, you can just I'll just type Avinash Kulur auditing AVI. I'll just write the Telegram channel. My Telegram channel is just AVINASH Avinash Kulur, KULUR, and KULUR, hashtag auditing, hashtag auditing, hashtag auditing. Avinash Kulur, hashtag auditing is my Telegram channel. I'll put the link of my Telegram channel in the what do you say, in that particular what do you say, RPL group also. Okay, so all these things, just that is that I am just trying to help the students in the maximum way possible online. So you can please have it. Discussion group also, I will also plan to have a discussion group, but please understand there are limitations, because we are already held up with a lot of classes, and a lot of students, even for the November exams we have to give, because already it is June. There are a lot of students who are writing in November, they are also wanting classes, that for them it is also online. They are also my students. I want also to help them to make sure that November exams also go really well. So all those things are being planned, but surely I will come up with a YouTube channel. My Telegram channel is already there. We'll start a 40-day program. I'll put up those question papers. Please write your answers, and all those things can be done. Okay, so that is what I am planning. So it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful experience for me these 5 days. I'll surely come to you, but just winding up, because anyways we'll have a small gap. Continuously 5 days, it was like, it's some kind of a connection with these students who keep on replying to me, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful that you have been with me. Thank you so much for the messages and everything. Please give me feedback about my classes. Can you please, if you can, send me the feedback about my classes through Telegram or through WhatsApp. My number is 9633063486. So it would have been very nice if you can give me the feedback about my classes. 9633063486. So it would have been nice, because I would also come to know how the classes went and how did you benefit from the class. If there's anything that I could make better, so that the future students will get benefited out of it, any changes to my presentation, the way I speak, anything that you want me to include to make me a better teacher, please let me know. I would be very happy to get to know those points also, to learn better, to teach better, to have a better future for the students. Okay, so it's been wonderful. Thank you, the team RPL, all the faculties in the team who are doing a wonderful job, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this Premier League. If not for the invite, I don't think I would have been able to have access to so many new students and so many students. And we are sure that we will come up with more such amazing heist in the future. So God bless you all. Take care, stay home, stay safe, and we are all with you, and we'll always be with you. Be confident, write your exams really well. Meet you very soon with the rest of the revision lectures, and hope that we continue this bond properly in the future. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm slowly signing off. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. Bye.